Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits Beer Chat. Crafty N and Fuller's London Pride. Now London Pride's awesome and it's the most iconic of the Fuller's brand. But you know, they do some amazing beers. Their vintage ale or their imperial stout, their porter, and the list goes on. They really do some fantastic beers. So this is what I'm starting with. Good evening. Oh, I've just finished grabbing all the Christmas decorations down. Time for a beer. Need a beer after that, I know. It's no fun going to the loft and grabbing Christmas decorations. And we've got enough to fill a van. Got 6 Christmas trees to put up. And the wife's busy now while I'm drinking. Can't fault it, can you? So, good evening. Today, Totally Brewed on their website, they're doing an advent calendar. Good evening. And basically, it's 12 beers for Christmas, but you don't drink them until Christmas itself. So it's not like the advent calendars where you get 24. Yeah, sod it, eh? After a shit year, you need some Christmas decks. I'm putting a tree or two up in here as well. I've got a little plan to change put the cameras slightly further back so the whole of the beer wall was in show. But that's for another day when we've got the arse sorted out. Good evening. And yeah, Totally Brewed, they're doing a beer calendar that you start drinking on Christmas Day. And they're doing it so that each beer or can of beer is labelled for each day. You're getting a glass with it. There's all other sorts of merch. And 40 quid. 40 quid's not cheap for 12 bottles of cans. But their stuff isn't cheap anyway. And you're getting the bottle and the merch. So I am definitely going to buy it. In fact, my son's going to buy it me for Christmas. So that's great. 2 advent calendars before Christmas and then a beer advent calendar during Christmas. It's the way to go on, isn't it? So last night, you'd laugh at this last night. I did the beer review. I came down later and I thought, I'll grab that bottle of beer that I opened, the homebrew. And I went up. It's fucking dark, isn't it? I went up, slipped on the steps, beer all over me, all in my face. And the fucking dog had done a dog shit. Did Forrest Win did that? Oh, I don't know. Polar Express, fucking amazing film, one of my all-time favourites. How did Forrest go on then? Been busy all afternoon cleaning and then going shopping with all the students that are breeding coronavirus. Ooh, 2-0. Bless you. It's about time. At one stage, they are going to ignite. You can't buy all them players and not get a team, but it just takes time, doesn't it? Derby got beat. Oh, bless you. How long before he gets the sack? And they've got Rooney and all, eh? Good old Rooney. Oh dear, does make you laugh, doesn't it? So look at that, London Pride. I do love Golden Pride, but we haven't got Taylor. Who the fuck's Taylor? Is he the one who's been scoring recently? Because I don't, I hardly know any of the names nowadays. They changed that much in the last year or so. That I know Matty Cash, he left, and I got used to his name. And the fireworks are on again tonight. There must be a lot of people with a lot of money. Oh, I do like a bit of the old London Pride. I've got the old Crafty N as well. And I'm going to splurge before Christmas. I'm definitely thinking of getting some more. It's Sergeant Mansfield. Nigel Clough. So yeah, before Christmas, definitely going to splurge on the beers. Soddy tea. If I'm going to be in lockdown before Christmas, I might as well have a go for it. And try and break the wall down a bit and, make some inroads. Especially with the non-alcohol stuff, because that stuff you can drink any time of the day. It's not hurting no one. Oh, I do love this. It's a pity that you can't get Golden Pride in any other supermarket bar Waitrose. Because Golden Pride is an amazing 8.5% beer. Derby Bottom. Oh dear, oh dear. You don't feel sorry for them, do you? I do actually. I'd rather Forest, Derby, and Leicester were in the top division, and then you really get the banter going. I mean, there was a time when County was in the top division. It is a classic beer. It's funny, some beers, I think it all depends on the night you're having, because some beers you'll drink them and you think, don't really rate it. Hey, is Trump still the president? Has he gone yet? I did look earlier, and Biden's on that 254 out of 200. He needs to get 270. He's on 254, and I think Trump's on 214. But he's claiming conspiracies and all sorts. Then again, he's going to enter. I always wondered why bottles have got higher ABVs than casks. Has he? Bless. Oh, I bet Trump's well pissed off. Fucking hell. That's going to be a great handover when they do handover. Because I think one has to bring the other one in, don't they, or something. I remember Barack Obama doing it to Trump. I'm sure it was. Oh, low-cost beer sells some Trump toilet paper. You'd love Biden to walk on TV, wouldn't you? With his Trump toilet paper. And so I'm just going for number 2, and I've got my toilet paper. Yeah, Trump's going to have a right. It's about time he went. I mean, it was different, but you can't have that sort of person as a politician. He's like a kid. Fucking somebody who's 70-year-old with dementia. But I do like some of the funny shit he comes out with. It makes you laugh, but you can't have him running the world. He'll end up World War 3. 4. 3 and 4. Fucking hell. Bloke's a muppet. So, totally enjoying this. Really going down the hatch well. Hobgoblin Ruby. Yeah, you can't fault Hobgoblin. Good evening. I'm tempted to buy some crates for Christmas. Good evening. This is Fuller's London Pride up first. And I've got to say, going down a treat. Good evening. Oh, I never knew there were so many beer reviewers on YouTube until I keep getting these things pinging up on my, recommended posts. And you see all these beer reviewers. In fact, last night, when I put the phone down last night, that him who does Relay of Craft Beer, he was doing a live jobby himself. I mean, his wife even. Ed Stillerton from last night. Oh dear, that was bad. Problem is, as you get older, I find that when you have a bad night, the beer hits you a lot harder. And then there's some nights I can drink legendary amounts of beer. Next day I'm up and I'm as fit as a fiddle. And then other days, yes, 2 quality beers. I must admit, I do like the stronger beers. I always have done, And when they're on a 4 for £6 deal, good evening. Hello, Rhoda. But yeah, when they're on a 4 for £6 deal, you can't fault them, can you? So I've got about an hour doing the live beer, and then I've got to go back in the house and I'll put the Christmas trees up. I'll have to watch his one time, see what they're like. I don't really watch anybody else's beer reviews. I don't know. It feels strange, I suppose, really. 150. See, I'm not good with the gravity part of it. What's that going to turn out in the end then, do you reckon? At 150? All depends on how much sugar you put in, doesn't it? And prune juice, though, does. Fucking hell, 19%. Shit, that's some strong stuff. Oh. Yeah, you'll be pissed up and shitting out the other end at the same time. Yeah, fair play to you. Yeah, you drink a pint of that, you wouldn't know about it. But it's when your belly starts bubbling, you think, oh dear, that's it. I better start going towards the toilet. Yeah, some people are bound to know a lot more. I mean, I worked in Sainsbury's for 5 years, and you do pick it up while you're working there. But obviously, some people work in the business, don't they? Brewing beer. And for them, they're obviously a lot more knowledgeable than most of us, I presume, really. You can, but they stink. That, you know, they really are room clearers. Fucking Easter eggs. We didn't give any Easter eggs out this year. We had them all. Hazy Jane, yes, you can't beat a bit of BrewDog. Some BrewDog do some good stuff. They do one or two dodgies as well, but they have done some good stuff, especially some of the recent stuff, like the triple one they did a few weeks ago. I can't remember the bloody name of it, but yeah, some nice beers that they do. But I love that they do this crowdfunding, and you know that equity for punks just makes me chuckle. It's Mr. President, 9.2%, love it. Triple Hazy, I think that's the one I had. Yeah, it's the triple IPA, isn't it? I've just been to B&M, no new beers there. Just the Sadler's Christmas pudding, which still has got a 6% on the label. Because I looked at the bottles just to make sure there's no 6% amongst them, but there wasn't, sadly. And the Wickwar one was there, Christmas cracker. That was it, but nothing else. All the Christmas selection boxes were there, you know, gift boxes and stuff. But the range, you know, hopefully Bar Humbug will come in soon. And if it does, I'm going to buy 6 of them buggers. Elvis juice, didn't that used to be about 7%? Mangrove Jacks, they do a grapefruit IPA, which is absolutely spot on. So close to Elvis juice. As long as you don't chuck the hops in. Like I said last night, you know, get a pair of tights, put the hops in the tights and then chuck them in. Then you can go filter out at the end. And the filter out at the end is an absolute swine. It's just so much hassle. Obviously, these are things you learn when you do a homebrew, don't you? You learn not to chuck the hops straight in. You learn to actually use sieves and filters and whatnot. 12 minutes, that one didn't take long, did it? Bloody hell. I don't get too sozzled because I'll get a bollocking off the wife tonight. Yeah, I sometimes wonder, you know, that BrewDog and Audi, whether that was a pre-planned exercise. Baltica. Yeah, it's a Russian lager, well, lager beer, you know, about £1.30. I think it had to be, because for them to get the Aud out so bloody quick. So you had the anti-establishment beer, that I don't know who brewed that looked like Punk IPA. And then within 3-4 weeks, the BrewDog one came out. And you know, the wheels in these industries don't move that quick. Yeah, I don't think so either. Marston's was the fake one. Ooh, Marston's do a lot of beers. From Nottingham, we have got Harvest Pale, and Marston's do the bottle version of it, and it's nowhere near as good as the Castle Rock version. Belgica, I've had that before. I've done a review of that. Right, on to the second beer. That one didn't take long. Down the hatch. And what a classic beer. I wouldn't say it's a top 10 beer these days, but about 4.3 out of 5 for me. 1079 Project. I might have that somewhere. That many beers. I haven't done a single review today as well, because I've been helping the wife all chuffing day. Been out doing the garden. Harvest Pale is a fantastic beer. On the cask is miles better than the bottle. If you get the 3.7% bottle, bang on. The Marston's 4.3% is nowhere near as nice. The Pabst Blue Ribbon is available. Least favourite style of beer, I would say pale ales. I'm not that mad keen on them at all. But you know, you review whatever you review, don't you? I mean, I like stouts, porters, and strong beers. But that's just being a bloody alky, I think. You know. I've always been shit at pouring beers, as you can tell. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not so bothered about the alcohol free. That 24 box I won, that's all gone up the arse now. That's for the wife. She can drink that stuff. Yeah, I'll stick to the stuff that makes you drunk. Yeah, I don't want alcohol free. What's the point? You might as well drink bloody water. In the end, you know. I suppose if you're in a pub and you want to make out that you're joining in, then it's a good thing to drink the alcohol free stuff. I mean, Beck's Blue's probably the king of all the alcohol frees, I think. For a lager, it does an amazing job of tasting like the real thing. I mean, I've drank it and I thought, fucking, I'm feeling pissed on this. And it's obviously fucking not, you know. It makes for a cheap night, doesn't it? If you get pissed on the alcohol free. That's if the alcohol free is not as expensive as the normal stuff. Oh, Harvard, I've heard about them. The next time we go to Northern Ireland to see my wife's family, we went over on a plane last time. Fuck that. We came back in a storm, and the plane was going like this, and I look at the people's faces, and everyone was shitting themselves, and I didn't think we'd land, and never ever again will I want to come back in a storm. Fucking awful. But next time we go over, we're going to go over on the boat, take the car, and I'm going to take a 200 quid. Fucking no, it wasn't Ryanair, I don't think. I'm not sure, you know. I think it might have been Flybe or something, one of them. I do like the darks. I prefer the darks. I mean, I used to hate wheat beers. Couldn't stand them. You know, like Hogarden, Duvel. Couldn't stand. My mate bought me 3 for my birthday back when I was 40, 9 years ago, and yeah, I couldn't drink them. And my mate paid 4 quid in Nottingham in the Bell Inn for a pint of Hogarden, and I'm there, and I can neck most things, and I'm there sipping the fucker. I couldn't do it. That killed me. But nowadays, wheat beers don't bother me at all, and I can get the flavour from the wheat beers. Pale ales just bore me. But, you know, we've all got the beers that we like, haven't we? And we're not all liking the same beers, which is a good thing, because if we all like the same beers... So, 1698, nice dark beer. Good flake, good strength, 6.5%. It isn't it? Let me just double check. Yeah. I miss that they don't do Toothsen anymore. The 7.3% bottle condition version. And then you had Old Spooky Hen that they don't do. Old Nutty Hen. Hoppy Hen. St. Peter's Plum Porter. Oh, he's sat there waiting to be reviewed. He is. Well, another review at least. Yes, they did. Yeah, Tesco's had little kegs of... Cheers. Tesco's had little kegs of Old Crafty, you know. But for me, the price is not at this price where you want to buy it. If you see it on a 4 for 6 deal, so 2 litres for 6 quid, and then the little keg is on at 9 quid, you think, well, I'm not going to buy the keg when I can get 4 bottles for 6 quid. So you're not going to do it. So I don't understand why. Sometimes you think the supermarkets look and think, right, we'll price that to go price, unless they can't do it because they don't get it cheap enough, you know. I mean, I've noticed this year that Bailey's is all at 12 quid a bottle at all the supermarkets. So no one's trying to outdo each other's. And I think it'll be a thing this year where you'll find most supermarkets, the prices are the same, just to share the spread of customers, because of the actual, you know, the massive amount of customers hitting supermarkets, especially during lockdown. Although let's see when we come out of lockdown if somebody gets greedy and lowers prices down, because it will happen. It's bound to happen at some stage. Baileys. Oh, over the years, you go to the supermarket, airports, you get the cinnamon and vanilla one. That's amazing. I mean, I've had the coffee, the mint, the hazelnut, normal Baileys, obviously. Was there an orange truffle? Oh, and then obviously the pumpkin spice Baileys, which was amazing, and the strawberry one, that was lovely. There's a new one supposed to be out soon, apple spice or something. They're like a Christmassy Baileys, but I've not seen it on sale anywhere just yet. And you also had the red velvet that came out last year. I paid 25 quid, well over the odds, for a bottle for my wife for Christmas. It was alright, but yeah, you couldn't drink it. You know, you couldn't neck bottle after bottle of it. You know, you'd have to stay on one bottle and that'd be it. Job's a good one. So, old Crafty. Oh dear, I do like a decent beer. It's just a shame that they've reduced their range of beers. I mean, the Tooth one that they used to do, Tooth's End, that was lovely. And in Morrison's for years. Yes. COVID, you know, in some ways it's been a life changer for some people. But in other ways, obviously, it's devastated jobs. There's just a hope. It came the shittiest year. I mean, we're going into Brexit, and to get walloped by COVID and then Brexit as well. Wow. But it's going to be an interesting few years over the next few years. But let's hope the government start taxing the likes of Google and fucking Amazon. It's a pity that Amazon over here don't do a lot of beer cases from America. I mean, low cost beer is probably the best place to go for, you know, for some of the wacky beers, some of their beers that they get on draft that you've never heard of, and American beers as well. You know, good, interesting place to shop at. I'd love to go to the shop in Cambridge, but it's a 2.5 hour drive, and fucking hell, can't be asked to drive for 2.5 hours just to go to one shop. Brian Clough. The funny thing is, Brian Clough was a spitting image of my dad, and he's sadly departed. But and he liked his beer as well, funnily enough, same as Brian did. But yeah, Brian Clough, what a manager! I mean, they talk about some of the managers, but what he did for Nottingham Forest, won like the equivalent to the Premiership and back-to-back European Cups, Champions Leagues. You know, what he did was amazing. And he fucked up when he let Peter Taylor go, because him and Peter Taylor together are an amazing manager, an assistant manager. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Chris Hughton can do wonders at Forest. We need steady like any football team, you need steady management and not a wholesale clear out of players. This year we've had that many new players that it's going to take time for the team to bed. Did they get all them players in the hope of fucking Sabri Lamucci off? I wonder, you know. I wonder if they just gave him enough rope to fuck him off. Vat and Fiddle, near the train station. Yeah, Castle Rock pub. I've not actually been there. As soon as COVID's been and gone, I want to go to start doing some brewery tours. You know, having a bit of cash with you, because you want at least 100 quid. Go on the brewery tour and then get a bottle of everything they do. Then it's worth going, you know. So you get the experience, you get a couple of beers. My mate will be driving because he don't give a fuck, and he's a good driver anyway. And you know, experience what they've got to say, because it's so interesting, these brewery tours are, especially these days with so many micro breweries around us, that in any part of the country you should be able to find somewhere close who do brewery tours. And I can't wait for it. Can't bring the chat back up. I missed that last comment. Oh, there we go. Yes, he was a great football manager, definitely. He didn't fuck about either. If he didn't like no one, if he didn't like you, he'd give you a slap round the head. And you can't fault him for that. You know, he didn't there was a player who came to Forest and he fucked about, and he basically fucked him off, never played him. Was it John Aldridge? Somebody like that. It rings John Aldridge, I think. Might have been him. Definitely somebody. He was a good player, but he never liked him and fucked him off. The thing he did do wrong was not buy Collymore back in 83. Was it 83 or 93 now? Fucking hell. 93. Yeah, not buying Collymore. And then obviously Frank Clark took over, bought Collymore. We obviously was relegated with Clough, went back up. Teddy Sheringham, there was something dirty in that. We bought Teddy Sheringham for 2 million or so. We had him for, I don't know, a year or two. Then we sold him to Tottenham for 2 million. Yet he was probably the best striker in the country. And there was some backhanders there. There's, you know, that era, there was a lot of that, you know, the old bungs, weren't there? It just makes you wonder if someone was given a nice backhander to sell him. And whether it was Clough or whoever. I mean, you can't blame people for making money, can you? You know, you do what you can to survive. But yeah, selling Teddy Sheringham was a fucking bad move for Forest. You know, and Collymore as well. When Collymore and Roy together, wow, that was an amazing team. Amazing partnership we had. Same as Pierre Van Hooijdonk and was it Kevin Campbell? Oh God, I'm going back in the days now. Remember I watched Pierre Van Hooijdonk at Forest when he scored two free kicks, and I was at Trent End watching, and they were absolutely brilliant free kicks. I'd love to work in yeah, I'd love to work in you know, if I came out of gardening, I would love to work at a brewery. You know, brewing beer, cleaning that cleaning that stuff wouldn't bother me at all. But you know, brewing beers and having that crack with the staff, you know, must be a fantastic job. And then going away doing, you know, beer festivals and stuff. I always thought Drygate were part of Sainsbury's, you know. I seen it in Sainsbury's and I thought, is this a Sainsbury's brand? Because all of a sudden there was about 5 Drygate products in Sainsbury's, and they're obviously not. It's a Scottish brewing company, isn't it? But I need to review some of the stronger lagers that are about. You know, the is it Carlsberg Special Brew? I think Tennant's do a strong lager rather. I need to review them at some stage, just to say I've reviewed them. Ah. Oh, definitely got a bit more of a twang than the old Fuller's. And it's 6.5%. Is it lower ABV now? Jesus. One day I was at Sainsbury's. I was at Beeston. So that was when I first started. And this memo came down saying from Bombardier of all people, so that Marston's, saying that there's a suspected glass in the beer. And they sent me in the back pouring away 150 bottles of beer down the drain. I was fucking gutted. I says, I'll buy the bastard. I'll get a filter. I'll filter the fucker. You know, give it me for free. Or, you know, or I'll buy it off you 10 pence a bottle. You'll earn money. You're not chucking it away. But no, they won't have it. Oh. Yeah. And some of the out-of-date stuff we used to find in Sainsbury's, you know, at Arnold, when I worked there, anything out of date, we just reduced it to minimum price and we bought it, you know. And it used to be a thing where you seen anything that went out of date, it was like, yes, you bastard. You know, £2 beers for 50 pence. Jobs are good and all day long. I don't care if it's out of date. Don't bother me. I'll drink the fucker. And I mean, it's Beeston. I need to go around the country more to different parts of the country drinking. Oh. Oh. So I've got to say, coming down well. I don't go up the arse pissed up, so I need to make sure. I might have another beer. I might have some of my own brew, but I'm not going to go too far. I need to get back on the reviewing as well. I might do a couple of reviews later if I'm not too pissed out my head, and get a bollocking off the wife at some stage. You know how it is. So I'm definitely thinking of getting. No, I don't have the prune juice. It's funny, you know. I'm down here drinking, and last night I hadn't had that much to drink yesterday. And I had them 2 beers last night, and I felt quite on my way after them 2 beers. Oh, I was having a bit of homebrew. And like now, I've had nothing to drink all day. I'm on a beer and a bit, and I'm feeling it already, which is great because it just shows you that, you know, you don't need to have 9 or 10 pints to start being on your way. And sometimes just talking to people, doing that virtual pub sort of thing, it's good. It's like you're talking to people in a pub, but you're not, you know. Obviously, I can't see anybody, it'd be funny if you could bring everybody up, wouldn't it? But then again, you'd have that many little fucking faces, you wouldn't be able to see anybody anyway. And then you'd all be talking at once. You wouldn't be able to understand what everyone's saying. Yeah, Zoom. I'll have to work out how to do Zoom. Pity YouTube don't do a Zoom, isn't it? That'd be funny. 2 or 3 people together. Yeah. I know. It's bad enough looking at my fucking face. Yeah. To think I was quite good looking when I was younger. I remember when in Glasgow, when Celtic came to Nottingham for Nottingham Forest. I don't know if it must have been the European Cup. And bloody hell, it was noisy in town that night. Because we used to live on North Sherwood Street in the centre of Nottingham. So only about 200 yards from the city centre itself. And when all the Celtic lads came down, wow. I wish my wife was more into beers and craft beers, because then you know it'd be interesting. You see you look on the internet these days. There's a lot of women into their craft beers, and my wife's just into Baileys and lager shandies, and maybe the odd glass of rosé and white, but that's about it. You know, she's not interested in beers at all. It must be nice to have a wife or a girlfriend who, you know, is interested in all the beers that are going. You know, I mean, there's so much variety these days. I mean, 10 years ago, if someone said to me there's a sour beer, I'd have said, a sour beer? And nowadays, there's so many weird and wacky beers. It's a great little hobby. Madness and Pet Shop Boys, eh? Good old 80s bands. I'm hoping to once the pubs reopen and we've got spare cash, I'm hoping to drag my wife into Nottingham city centre and go to some of these tap rooms, because there you're with people who just want to drink craft beers rather than the pubs and, you know, with the bloody lagers and all the idiots you get in them sort of pubs. I'd rather, you know, that's why with us, we've got Lincoln Green pub in Arnold, and all they do mostly is all cask beers, and it's a much better atmosphere. You know, there's no idiots. You know, there's no scrapping. You get the odd dog walker, and you know, his dogs, and they have a little bit of banter between the dogs. But you know, it's a good atmosphere, and it's all beer drinkers. No one's looking for a fight, and that's the way to be. You know, you don't go out for that shit. I certainly don't. Going down well. What's everyone drinking then? Because We've all got to be drinking, haven't we? You know, you can't be watching videos and not drinking. And I've got to say, the old Crafty stuff. Whew. I think micro pubs are very much the future. I think the old fashioned pubs are going to die totally. Pubs with decent restaurants that sell craft beer, they are the kings of the future. Oh, howdy beer hall, eh? Oh, job's a good one. Mojito beer. It's from JTF. It's a brand called X-Mark. 5 for a tenner. And you got the cannabis beer amongst them. And I tell you what, I drank that cannabis beer and I felt well chilled afterwards. And whether it was in my head or whether there was something in the hemp that's in the cannabis, obviously it's not actually proper cannabis, but Burning Sky Easy Answers, never heard of it. We went into, was it Aldi I went into? I've been into Aldi and Lidl over the last few days. There's nothing new or interesting in there. You know, keep open. Lidl are going to do Haverwood's winter beer. That's coming soon. Yeah. Well, me and my wife, the car was in at Bulwell one day and it was at 9 o'clock in the morning. And we thought, well, we'll go and get a breakfast because the car's in. And there was a load of blokes out there with us. And they're all fucking... Did I? Oh, fucking hell. Pissed up twat I am. And there's a load of blokes waiting outside. We're going in, we're eating breakfast. All these cunts are drinking beer at 9 in the morning. And people say to me, you drink a lot. And I thought, well, I don't fucking drink at 9 in the morning. You know, there's limits. Is the Corona out of date? I'll tell you what, it's been funny because I've seen Corona at the front of Morrison's, at the front of Sainsbury's, Tesco's. No one's buying it. Their sales must have nosedived. And since this, and even the bloke at my workplace, he's got like 40 odd bottles of Corona, all out of date. And he even took a photo of Corona in front of the hotel, and obviously making out that Corona's killed the hotel. And yeah, ever so funny. And you know, it does make you wonder. Oops, it does make you wonder if they'll change the name at some stage or rebrand it, because fancy calling the beer Corona when there's a coronavirus out. Fucking hell. Talk about damage, brand damage. Ooh. Unless there's a corona vaccine that comes out. Yeah. I mean, Jesus, it must. I mean, Corona was like Peroni at one stage. Fuck having a pint too early in the morning. Although, if you do a night shift, I mean, I've done night shifts at Sainsbury's, and I'll come home, and it's like 7 in the morning. I'm thinking, fucking hell, I need a drink to go to sleep. So I'd get on the Bacardi, get a nice half a pint of Bacardi, or maybe a pint, neck it, and then fucking go to sleep just to get the sleep. But yeah, most night shifts are already back in bed at that time. It's good to see all these beer reviewers on. And, I'm as shit compared to you. Yeah, I mean, most of the time I can't face a drink at dinner time. You know. Good evening. Layer cake, BrewDog. There's 2 marshmallow. Barney's Beer have done that marshmallow drink, and obviously BrewDog have brought out layer cake. I think that BrewDog's layer cake beats Barney's Beers, which is sad because Barney's Beer is obviously a much smaller company. but their beer is better warm than it is cold. But BrewDog's layer cake is one special beer. That's nice, you know. And I like the beers that you look at, you think, oh fucking hell, have I got to review that shit? And you pick it up and you think, oh, it's crap. You review it, you drink it, and you think, fucking hell, that is nice. They're the beers that really grab you. I mean, if I pick a 6% porter or stout up, I'm thinking, this is the sort of beer. And then I pick a 3.8% up and I'm thinking, oh fucking hell, I'll do the review, I'm not really interested. And you drink it and you're amazed by the taste, by the aroma, you know, the flavour and that. And yeah, they're the beers that really surprise you. I've had some cracking beers. Oh, thank you. I'm just a stress head from Nottingham. Evil Dog. Oh. BrewDog brews. I wish they'd bring some more beers out. More beer kits, rather. They put a load out all at once, and it's been stagnant for a while. And Evil Dog is a very good beer kit. Oh, Crafty, love it to bits. An absolute classic, gotta say. Right, I'm on the pick and mix now, because what can I have that I've drank before? Oh. Problem is, I don't want to drink anything that's a review beer. So, you know, you don't want to pay twice for something. And as fellow reviewers out there, favourite of the hen beers, it's got to be Old Crafty, hasn't it? Although the Tooth's Hen, I think, was the better. 7.3%, bottle conditioned, an amazing beer. Why the hell did they get rid of it? I mean, it used to be at Morrison's for years. It was a staple beer. And it kills me when they get rid of good beers. Shit. Yeah, you might be right, you know. Oh. Salt, prune wine time. Beer Factory. No, that's a special one. That is. They're going in the house. That's going to be a beer review, but it's going to be in the warm. It's not warm down this shed. Oh fucking hell! The Crafty Hen's delicious. It is. Problem is that, let's be fair. With all your decent beers, one beer is never enough. You know, 2 or 3 of the best beers. You want at least 2 or 3. So to fellow beer reviewers out there, and it's great that you're out there, because what sort of beers do you like reviewing and what sort of beers do you not like reviewing? Honestly, doesn't matter. No one's watching. 43 minutes and I need to knock it off at an hour, because I'll get a right shitstorm off the wife. Oh, prune wine. God knows what strength it is. Oh, but it's got some oomph these days. It really has. So Imperial Stouts. I love Imperial Stouts. I really do. And they're expensive to review. But, wow. Blue Monkey near me have got 3 Imperial Stouts on sale. Sherwood. So yeah, very, very close. I mean, Sherwood's part of Nottingham, Gedlin's across the road, and the chat's gone off, so I can't see what it said. Oh, bugger. Yeah, definitely close. Yeah, lived in Nottingham all my life. Never seen me leaving. Even if I won the lottery, I wouldn't leave Nottingham. Probably go on the outskirts away from all the idiots. But and probably set up my own brewery as well. Oh, that'd be nice. Can you imagine having your own little brewery, micro brewery? I wouldn't want to go. You would. I would never want to go big. If ever I won enough money, I'd want enough money. Macro lager and dragon soup. Oh. BrewDog Collab Fest, £30 delivered for 12 cans. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, there's been some re-reviews of this stuff. It's got its qualities. I mean, if you're going to drink prune juice, you might as well drink prune juice wine, because it delivers on both scores, doesn't it? It delivers on the fact that if you need to go to the toilet, it's a bloody great way of going. I mean, I'd rather drink prune juice wine than prune juice, definitely, if I needed to go. Not that I really struggle, but drinking different beers every day, you don't really struggle, do you? Let's be fair. Oh. So I'm 2 beers and a sip of this, and I'm feeling tanked. That is ridiculous, isn't it? You can see why that I'm the first one to fall when we go out drinking with my mates. So we go down Mansfield Road, pub after pub, 8 pints in, and I'm absolutely bladdered. I'm going home. They carry on, and they're doing shorts, dinners, and I'm at home. I am. I've done. And then they say to me, "You drink more than this," and I think, "I fucking don't. Not when you drink that much in one night." So I wouldn't be the best person to go out drinking with on a night out. And yet sometimes, I mean, I had a wine course in London. We drank a bottle of wine on the train going down, me and my manager. We got there, there's 120 of us on this course. I thought, fucking hell, we're not even going to get a sniff of anything here. They put us in groups of 30, 25, 30, something like that. The first area, whiskies. 12 or 13 different whiskies. You had a spittoon to spit out the whiskies into. No one spat out, apart from one whiskey which was so smoky and peaty, it was awful to drink. Next area was champagnes, 5 different champagnes, and then he says, "Does anybody want any more?" Oh yeah. Demi-sec, oh beautiful. And then you had the Sainsbury's area after that, 4 different tables, one with ports, sherries, ginger wine on. The next area was beers. The next area was wines, and then it was sparklers. And after that, fucking hell, steaming. Then on the train on the way home, I'd got another bottle of wine, hadn't I? Because I made sure I was well catered for. Drank the bottle of wine on the way home, and I was still standing at the end of the day, pissed as fuck, but still standing. That was an amazing day. One of my best days ever working for Sainsbury's. Whew. Hey, I'd love to go back to that, but not every day. I couldn't do it every day. Once in a while was enough. Some of these courses and brewery tours, wine tours, they're amazing to go on, because you think you know stuff, then you go on and you listen to the experts, and they try to get you to pick out the flavours, especially with wines, pick out the oakiness, the tannins, and that, and straight away you don't pick it out. And then you tell you to put a bit in your mouth, so you get like this, and I hope I don't spit it out, but so you'll get, imagine this was port. It's not port, but and then you suck it through your teeth. While you've got the wine in your mouth, it's not easy to do. and it accentuates the flavour, and it sends a rush up, and it just did them a little bit anyway. Probably best not to put too much in, but it gets you pissed ever so fucking quickly. You really feel it, but it's a great way of finding out, you know, what's in what you're drinking, you know, what flavours are there. So, you know, some of these courses are well worth. If you think, you know, we all think we know, we can get certain flavours, but, you know, the experts know better than what we do. They're paid to know better. I mean, the bloke who used to take the courses for Sainsbury's, he was their person who used to do all their buying and selling for spirits and wines. So he knew what he was on about. And then at the end of the day, he says, oh, there's loads of salmon and cheese over there. Take what you want. And it's like, wait, give me to the cheese. And you get home and you realise, when you're more sober, it's out of date. But a day or two is not much of an issue. But I won't touch salmon that's out of date. Not in the slightest. Oh. So, prune juice wine, eh? I didn't think I'd be on this stuff again, but it's strong. It really is. And to those of you that brew it, you'll know about it. Oh, you will. And I'm really, really tempted to buy a plum tree and do my own plum wine, plum beer. It's definitely going to be a thing in the years that, you know, the years that come. And I'm definitely on the way up to Christmas, hoping to. I want at least 2 kits before Christmas, from December the 1st to the 24th, the low-cost beer kit and the adventure beer kit, because I want to see what Christmas beers from the East Midlands come out. And you've got to hope that somewhere around the country they do a similar thing to adventure beer. The business model is amazing. You know, say you live in, I don't know, West Midlands or down south, and you get somebody going around getting all the beers from all the breweries in that area, then selling them in a box nationwide. Fucking hell. You know, it's an amazing business. And if you had the money yourself to do it, if I had the money and I didn't live in Nottinghamshire, I'd do it. Because it is an amazing idea to do. You know, because a lot of breweries don't do mixed cases. I mean, I had to actually badger St. Peter's into doing a mixed case. I'm trying the same with Titanic, but they're resisting at the moment. But, you know, mixed cases are the way forward. One of each and a glass with, say, I don't know, Robinson's Brewery, whatever brewery it is. You do that, you know, and you put it as a reviewer's box set. You'll sell it. Sell loads. It's got to be the way forward, especially while coronavirus is still on. Because while this is still on, a lot of people are not drinking as much in pubs as they used to. So, you know, they need to order. And a lot of people want to order something different. You know, we're all kids, aren't we? Like in a sweet shop, we see a new beer and we're like, oh, that's nice. Let's try that. Or there you go into the Marks and Spencer's and you think, £2.50 a can? You robbing bastards. I'm not paying that price. Oh, so nearly an hour in. Oh, can't see me lasting much longer. I've got to go up the wife and help the wife with the Christmas trees. Got the one in the main room, the one in the dining room, the one on the bottom of the stairs, the one in my son's bedroom, the younger son anyway at least, because the older son's miserable guy, don't want Christmas trees up. And I've got 2 outside to go up, but they're already pre-done, so it's just a case, 2-minute job, bang her in, walk off. I've got projectors that project onto the house, you know, with Santa and whatnot. I've got more lights to put up on the outside of the house. Got a snowman, reindeer. I do like to go for it, you know. Can't fault Christmas, can you? You know, it's a great time of the year. And especially this year with this coronavirus. I mean, when it does one, I mean, I've even got my neighbours across the road. Even they are putting Christmas decorations up early, so it just goes to show you how catching it is. And I've got a 20-foot Christmas tree, a real Christmas tree in the front garden that I've covered in Christmas lights, and it looks amazing this time of the year. I did put a photo on Instagram the other day, and it does. It looks a doggy's bollocks. It does. Oh dear. It's still very, very challenging, shall we say, to drink. You know, your normal red wine or white wine drinker would find this maybe a bridge too far to drink. Your alky in the park, you know, they drink it and think, fucking hell, that's lovely that is. I'll have some of that. Maybe I ought to go into business, didn't I? Going down the parks and find all the alkies and say, £5, 3 litres for £5. Make quite a bit of money off that. Oof. Especially when it only costs like, what does it cost? 86 quid, 6 quid for 25 litres, something like that. There'll be a lot of people shitting, that's for sure. So I best not drink anymore. I'm already feeling it. It's been a good night. Good to chat to some fellow beer reviewers. You know, it's nice to be reviewing beers. And myself, I like to review not only beers but lagers, wines, spirits. You know, basically anything you drink. And a lot of people just do beer reviews, and I respect all of that. You know. And to be honest, with so many breweries around the country, no one beer reviewer could review everything. There's no chance on how, because with so many new beers coming out every single day, there's no chance you could drink, that much. Although it would be a nice challenge, wouldn't it? But maybe your liver wouldn't like the challenge. Maybe. Oh. So, I've either got an email or a message. I need to start taking the warm beers up the house, which I'm going to do in a minute, and the beers that need to be drank at room temperature, and start doing some warm beer reviews as well as shed temperature reviews, and see how that goes, really. I might do a couple of reviews later. Don't think they'll be live, but you never know. Because if the wife's knackered and goes to sleep early, I might do a beer review. Although not a pissed up beer review, because if I do a pissed up beer review, like I did with a couple of beer reviews earlier this year, sitting there staring at the camera, not a good review. And although it did make a lot of people chuckle, which is a good thing at some stage, I suppose. Right, what do they do with that bottle? Ooh. Let's have a snifter for home, eh? It's funny, these beer reviews, you do them tonight, but they won't show up till tomorrow morning because of the processing or something. At least I can say, at some stage, I've got through 40 pints of prune juice wine a year after brewing it. And it looks like dishwater. It tastes different. And it does the job it's intended to do. Oh. And it's still potent. Oh dear. Very, very potent. If you're ever suffering from constipation and you drink prune juice, then making prune juice wine, it's got to be the next step, hasn't it? to drink something that gets you drunk and relieves your bowels, you know, it's the way forward. I'll just sell it to Sainsbury's and say, you know, this is the future. Sainsbury's actually do a tonic wine, Synatogen. It's like 17%. It's in the ports and sherries section, and I'm very interested in reviewing that, and just to see what it tastes like, two, what comes out of it basically, and you know, see how it is, see what if it does what it's supposed to do. I mean, it's a tonic wine, so it's supposed to make you feel better. Worth a punt, isn't it? Oh. Oh dear. So, thank you everybody for watching and commenting. Some great comments and that. Good to hear from fellow beer reviewers. And this beer chat's sadly over. I need to go up the house before I get a bollocking. And before she realises I've had a good drink. And go and see the wife and crack on with putting the Christmas trees up. Bit early, yes, but with a year with COVID, you know, sometimes in life it's just a case of doing what you do. Stuff COVID, let's crack on. And we've had COVID, we've had Trump, you know, you can't get any more shit in 1 year, can you? Surely, you'd hope. And I mean, fucking hell, I've worked for a bunch of wankers for a year until these last couple of months, and you know, it's nice to be in a good place at last. And right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, everyone.